Te ule ava mali whaano al tele. O te wha whailoa i atu ai lo o tō pa ia ma lo o tō mana. Mai ane le fio ngai le i pule. Company malosi al Vodafone Samoa Limited. Vodafone Samoa. Mr. Rana Bose. Ia fio fo ile mai tai o lo fa o lo ia le fa tonga Samoa Victim Support Group o le to manga mo e popo ngatia. Ia a fio fo ile pa ia mawalunga. I tupu mai e o Samoa ia ele ngata ile ia o wo atu stana ta wa tele lau to ngā lona whai ia mese fo ilo to wa fio mai le tai au tula ia tua ila ila va mal fa alo e fa fe lo ai tua ilo to pa ia mo lo to man mina tu sam fai ngā le aso ia la le o ia stana to pe ia fa mai ne tai lo to pa ia malo Samoa ele au fa ngai na fo se upu se va talanga vai vai o talanga ile tai au. I would like to start by welcoming each and every one of you today. A special welcome to the Vodafone company, Mr. Rana Bose, the Chief Executive Officer of Vodafone. I also like to welcome our Chair of the Samoa Victim Support Group. Also like to acknowledge Tafatua San, who is also a senior member, finance manager of the Samoa Victim Support Group. Our SVSG members who are here with us. A special welcome to our media representative, journalists from various media companies who are here with us today for the official launching or the joint press conference by the Samoa Victim Support Group in collaboration with the Vodafone company. As I mentioned, the role of the media has always been can never be undervalued or understated in the work of the Samoa Victim Support Group. And on that note, I'm so happy to see some of the senior members here. And because the purpose of our program, press conference this morning, is really about, launching and putting the work of the Samoa Victim Support Group out there. So I'm really glad to see some of the senior members of the media here. And on that note, I would like to invite Autangavaya, Tipi Autangavaya, Yase Sumai, the Maya to Fapalo, Asinka Kalo Pua. Yeah, on our material to program, and I now ask invite Tipi Autangavaya to say a short prayer for us this morning before we proceed with our program.
Tātou taro, teile tua ni tai au o mātou toi, maua mia sfōlu o lofo malu wanga le lei. Mātou whātai fōi lo maliu malu toi tū sa whāmanatu e sa mōma le rangi. Le vai aso o tola yatu, le leo mātou toi. Materia whea o ngā luenga le nei vai aso fō. Mātou whātai le ola mali malosi o e au ina mai ai mātou le aso ma le aso. E ui na pipi o ma le sao o mātou wala, ai mātou te teletonu, le maliu o lau o fio, whamangalo ai mātou whanau o sala. O le whamoe moe o le tau manga moe popo ngā tia, i le puipuia malu o le ola mua o alo ma whanau o le atunu, tai me se fo i le tau fio sa wanga i tutonu o ainga, whapea tutonu o nuu ma fio anga, mātou talo i leo nganga, pa ia whapeona musu i o mātou loto, me i o mātou sa iri au wala le lei uma ina ia tau fi aisa wanga i lo mātou atuno. Nei tai au ma le mātou mātanga, mātou tu watu i lau fio, ina ia whapena au na taito o ina i mātou uma i lo nganga pa ia, ma ia maua le sini ma le wha moe moe le wha mna tuina, o le lua sa furu tau sanga talo na wha tuina le tō manga, mo e pōpua ngā tia i lo mātou atuno. O le mātou talo lea ma leo lenga, i lo suafa Iesu, Amen ba amen.
Ya, whātai atu le sunga i le whailotu le tai au, o tala ina ia Tangawaya, ia o le mea moni aia, le ikupe Samoa Victim Support tanga mai ai o se sene fa tau va ale mai ka ngai ala ngai ia tu atu yo a fanita o le ua fana le ule va te tu sai foi man ka tu ta sa ya si tu fa tau va ale la su ya ia fa ya you can never undervalue the role of the media, and for that we are very grateful to have these press conference here. Also like to acknowledge the Vodafone for allowing us to host this event today to launch the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Samoa Victim Support since its establishment in 2005. So it was a value, it was full time sanga talon fatula ngale fa mai lo tato to mama moi popo ngatia mai se miti assessio oloia ina ia yese fale vo ile mautu ia ina to wa afia mai sa wa le ngato to no ai o nu ya ni se fo ila to sa wa ina to no so se va in the community on mele ya ja o le va manfa o te vala au whaala la tuai, le whiunga ia mapusua tania tuai o. Ia e saunga fo i le wha moe moe ne yasu. O le whiunga ia mapusua tania tuai o, ia leo o le tiepo o whaururunga o taiuru ia i le tato board of Samoa Victim Support. Ia o le saunga fo i nisi o whaalau iloa. Ia po kalama le o ka pena ia i le Samoa Victim Support mo le whaalau iloa ina. Ia mana celebrating family ina mana pati fo le tau sanga te ia nisi na vai ngole sauno ia le fioma ia toilo ia ona tala lo le ava no mo ni fisili fo ni fisili on tato media to stala fo i mo fa mo ia tala tu la va no mai ia no tu la ia tu le ia fa la lo fo se vai ngole sauno ia le fioma le pule company Malo. So I now turn the time over to Mapsua Tanya to speak on the purpose of our press release this morning, covering some of the program that will be launching and throughout the 20th throughout this week and also the coming months as we celebrate the 20th years of celebration of the Samoa Victim Support Group. And then we'll open the floor to for any questions from the media. Then I will turn the time over to Mr. Rana to say a few words from the Vodafone company. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, sure.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your attendance to all the media representatives today. On behalf of the Samoa Victim Support Group, Board and Management, myself and Langa Aya as board members will be highlighting and outlining the activities that SVSG will be rolling out in the next 2 months to celebrate its 20th anniversary. But before I go into the activities, I just want to give again a brief background of SVSG's time it was established and what it's been trying to achieve in Samoa. So SVSG was established with a mission to support the victims of crime and gender-based violence in Samoa in 2005. As an NGO, it is the only shelter provider for victims in Samoa, and that includes a shelter for children and a shelter for women who are fleeing abusive relationships. And SVSG has extended its services over the years, from case management to sheltering victims, court support, counseling, a free helpline, and community engagements. So this year, 2025, marks the 20th anniversary of SVSG. It has been humbling for SVSG that its work has been acknowledged by the Samoan government and international donors over the years. And in celebrating the 20th anniversary, SVSG wants to highlight that the reason it has been able to support our community is because the community has been so supportive of SVSG. The effective partnerships that SVSG has built include those with the leadership of our churches, Ali'an Fai Pule, women's committees, youth groups, schools, other NGOs, the business community, as seen from our launch today with Vodafone Samoa Limited, other donor partners, the governments of Samoa, and of course, the general public. So the support that SVSG has received has allowed it to house women and children who have faced violence, to introduce positive parenting skills to our families and communities, and to teach our youth how to break generational violence, to support Nofotane women to find financial support and independence, and many other initiatives that have only been launched and completed with the support of all our partners and our communities. So with that in mind, the theme for our 20th anniversary celebrations is 20 years of partnerships, saving lives, and advancing the future. This theme does three things. Firstly, we highlight the foundation of SVSG's work, which is our partnerships with our community. Secondly, we reiterate our mission, which is simply to save lives, whether it's by removing women and children from dangerous living situations, supporting them through the justice system, and these are all the different facets of the work that SVSG does to help those and save the lives of the most vulnerable in our community. And lastly, we look to the future. SVSG gives the youth tools and knowledge to break generational violence, and we facilitate the placement of children of hope with partners who help to give them further education. And so the activities that we have started for our 20th anniversary have already commenced, and these activities conclude in June. So the celebrations will highlight the fight against gender-based violence, and we invite our communities to be a part of that. And we especially hope to inspire the youth to become a part of this movement in whatever way they can and however they can contribute. And so I'll move now to our proposed activities. Firstly, we have activities in April, and there's 3 activities that are due in April. So the activities that involve our schools, especially the young ones, we've already commenced them. The first one is a poster competition. The thematic area is Break the Cycle, Save Yourself, Save Your Future. And so the categories are primary school children from 7 to 13 years of age, and secondary school students from 14 years to 18 years old. And that competition closed last week in April, on the 17th of April. And so all the winners of the competition will have their work displayed on SVSG media publications for 12 months. And there's also 3 prizes. The first prize is to the value of 2,000 tala. The second prize is to the value of 1,500 tala. And the third prize is to the value of 1,000 tala. The second activity that involves, again, our young children in school is a speech competition. And the entries for those close on the 30th of April, so that's next week. And it could be in English or Samoan. The age groups are primary school students from 9 to 13 years, and college students 14 years to 18 years. And the topics are: family is a safe haven for a child, love should not hurt, a father is a family protector, not a perpetrator, and let's put an end to violence now. So again, the prizes are: the first prize is to the value of 2,000 tala, the second prize is to the value of 1,500 tala, and the third prize is to the value of 1,000 tala. Now, our last activity in April is a Mother's Day poem competition, the theme being A Mother's Worth. And there are 2 categories, from 10 to 20 years old, and then an open category from 21 years old and over. And again, the prizes are worth $2,000 for the first prize. The second prize is to the value of $1,500, and the third prize is to the value of 1,000 tala. So that concludes our 3 activities for April. And then in May, we have a Nofotane market, and that will be run in front of Matangiala Lua, in front of the government building, on Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th of May to coincide with Mother's Day. So that's the Nofotane Mother's Day market. In June, we conclude our celebrations with a few activities in June. We have our amazing race, and that is going to be run on the 14th of June, 2025. It's from 2 to 4 members per team. Each team must have a vehicle and a phone with a camera to take pictures of the various, challenges or the quizzes. And their entry fees for these teams, 100 for a team of 2, 200 for a team of 3, and 300 for a team of 4. And the first prize is to the value of 2,000 tala. The second prize is to the value of 1,500 tala. And the third prize is to the value of 1,000 tala. And we also have a Thanksgiving Mass on Sunday, the 15th of June, followed by a parade on Thursday, the 19th of June. And then our last activity is the Friday, the 20th of June, where we will have an SVSG forum and market. Now, this forum is a really important activity because SVSG will be presenting on the work it's done in the last 20 years to all our partners. And this is the space where everyone will be given an opportunity to have a dialogue with SVSG, to not only discuss the achievements, but also the challenges and a way forward for the next 20 years. So that would be a very valuable activity for our partners and our community. And then the celebrations will end with the SVSG Ball on the evening of Saturday, the 21st of June. Now, all these activities are made possible by the kind contribution of our sponsors. Firstly, being Vodafone Samoa Limited, and we will go into further detail of their kind contribution to SVSG's 20th anniversary. We've also received donations and sponsorships from other businesses in the private sector, including Apia Concrete Products, Bella's Kitchen, CCK, DMC, Football Federation Samoa, Sai Motors, Skyview Villas, Taula Samoa, and TCB Security. I know that there's still other businesses and companies who are still coming forth with promises and kind assistance for SVSG's 20th anniversary, and those other businesses will be made known at a later stage. But we do want to acknowledge all the businesses that have come on board as of today, to thank them for their assistance in making the work that we do possible. So for Taitele Lava.
Thank you, Tanya, for touching on the program. I just want to add on that in addition to all that was has been explained by Tanya, feel free to also check on Samoa Victim Support SVSG Facebook page. I will also continue to put on programs there, as well as the events and results of all the events for the celebration of the 20th year anniversary. But before I turn the time over to Mr. Rama, I think I'll now turn the time now to the floor, open the floor for any questions or anything that you wish for us to clarify in terms of the program.
Okay. Sarali abatua ia pasili foi al senhor tustara de tau mulher tu fakta te fono mole aurunga lo to kuma pafu vala uli foi usai ole tatu talo a mate nei kai au. Mate watu fōi o leo ua au ilo tō komiti whapoe whaaro alo i pēo na sila miore marufo e mate o visenga ne ia wale ngalo na pupu e le umi. E veina lo leo man mate o visenga lango kaua lo tō ngalo o leo ua talia man whaaro alo ia lo tō maama lo tō mitsia. Au umar ko pule. Olea, e mori atu ele mate o mea rufa lea. Ia wata mwhainga le, was fukta usanga o le whamoe moe whalaptonga, sau se lo makua pe riskoi. Mori atu whaftai. O le whiwsiri atu i le te whono, pe mo se ama noe le tātou ngana e au mai se tali o lata whisiri whamoe moe. O le mata watu i porkalame o lea e le rifa nga i tono loto i whale wa onga. Le tau mata watu fo i lau tō porkalame pipa to a whata oto ia tūlanga i se au te lenga lau tō ngāruenga. I le luas hutau sanga leo a whaeronga i le tau alunga al whamoe moe i masinga iuni. Ai pe o le inari tau au wala to i se pisiri, mo le neiteini. I le tāpenanga ma le sila whalaptonga po ani matati a te tele wa ausia e le whalaptonga. Talu mai le luas fungtau sanga. O tau mawhaili tala inga le i le atunu. O wai le o te iloa le o se ngālunga na whaingo fiere a matanga lau tau ngā wanga. E a fua i tau sanga a mata whalaptonga. E o mai te minde. Wa o te levo e arsuinga le o te amoni mawina i tūlanga i o le whaeroa mo meo mata upo fui nei tau i sāwanga. Ele ngata o sāwanga tino o sāwanga le mawhawhau. Au sāwanga hui au wala sori tūlafono i whiusoinga. Ia malu whalo lau.
Just so that all our English and Samoan speakers will I guess understand the very important issue that you raised. I will give the response in English and then Langa Aya will provide the response in Samoan. So Atanga Vaya has raised an important question, which is from SVSG's view, what have been the main achievements in the past 20 years? So there've been several. So I guess the first one that I think most people are aware of is that prior to the establishment of SVSG, there were no shelters in Samoa for children who I guess did not have anywhere to go when they were abused by their families. So one of the main achievements by SVSG was establishing the Campus of Hope that is now at Tonaimato with the invaluable support of our government and also our other business partners who have given regular donations and the general public to allow the campus to run. And also setting up the shelter for the women who have run away from their abusive relationships or partners. The second achievement has been setting up a helpline. That's a 24-hour free call helpline, so you can call in anytime when you are in a position when you need to escape help a violent situation urgently. The third achievement by SVSG is building relationships within our communities and having our village representatives be our eyes and our ears on the ground. If you're not familiar with village representatives, these are representatives of SVSG in every village in Samoa who people go to for help and they contact us. And so having village representatives on the ground allows SVSG to have a reach throughout the country, both rural and urban, that we otherwise wouldn't have. The other achievement is that we've seen a huge change in the attitude and the culture of our people. Before, it would be very rare to have people in the family report on their husbands, their grandfathers, their brothers, that this person is abusing a child in our home. But now people are finding it they find the courage and they find the confidence to come to SVSG or to come to police to report this, and there's not so much taboo. And that leads me to the other achievement the SVSG has seen is the change in our in the support from our communities. For example, they have taken on board the messages that survivors need support, and they also now are more willing to support a victim. If a victim reports abuse in a village, it's now normal that the village will support her and penalize the perpetrator. Whereas before, there was always this huge fear that you will be in trouble if you report. The other achievement is economic empowerment. This is through the Nofotane program and to empower Nofotane women to be financially independent. As I think we're aware, a lot of women in abusive relationships find it hard to move on because the man is the breadwinner, and if she escapes, she won't have any financial support for herself and her children. And so the Nofotane program has been a huge, milestone, which is something that we are continuing, and we hope to continue in the future. So that's just some of the things I want to highlight today, and I'll give it to Langa Aya to
Mayai am changan fa to my government liman to Toma. Kilias we have Mayai falling Kawa Matamayai. Sata Matamayai, come my officer say Yailan for Yole. Only come and build in Yasoya, ya, is if I say you tend to a family house. Yalwa, Ilukakuba in it, so for Yato, low of a bang, no from Fapito, you don't like Mato. Swing at Tolong sa Amata Mayai, Yalefo Penata, what you to Langay, the help service level to so so stream. Ilum so son in my company, Vodafone, Louis for Mayai, the free helpline then for Vili Mayai 24/7. Male too long for Ile, Langulang Suale, and to know Lautili. Ilokelia, Iloma is a no ola totally a wing of some summer, Male Fat Memorial SVSG. Maya Matanga of my temini, say Uko Manga Umane Kelio, or Tono Kalaman, Atina, Itono Fioma, Ya of a pengasila over the city on Mamma Talwayon Along Tawamata. Manisivang at Payonta, while Langosu Mayalim Faipul and so Pokalamayan of Tali. Tawai na ufon fa pil vainga le ngata swinga umayo taw mafainga ye tato te va aiele ale tomanga. But also le tool to la phone. Valu taw sanga talon fa kule SVSG lof malima lof suto. Kwa fa kueka ko sam family safety act lof suto crimes act. La ko swinga pula phone fo ideale also na to la phone. O to la phone to tele ya. Na whaaofi mai lalo tamu whai atu ai mātou ia, nisi o lo ia sai tono prosecution. Ma lo ia o lo ngā lurue na whsosoani le mālo le tātou o tamijam. Push ina ia sui, ia mise fo io o sui ngā mai le whaaputonga tina, tanga longa tina, o ofisa o leo. I le longo pēa le Samoa Victim Support le nātai. We need to change our laws to accommodate victims. Talfata Silia. Wayel Temini swing at Mafama to accommodate a tamati for if I now was a wine. Emma Fayona Yay, Kako protection. The Kako before you protection order. No more in the Ingamesa Yay, Sapu Wile, Marcia Taylor Famsino, but in our Tamafai my pair. I think to me that is a milestone in terms of the legal framework. The ability in Fayaka was Kula for. Keta, Masosonia Tilimo, Yama, Mana, Ilata Wafia. Yamatelo swinga ye wafi my tono, Sassifata Inga, ya 1 5 Yafatula for Noina Mele, Iltamufaya Tuatina. Ya Elefa Pea, Nofota Mama Tina, on Pusawani, on Tamaitulanga Tolanga, Felsway, therefore to yet on my marital rate, and before the more yet a man, Nabai. Kawola telo ila tawa fia fo ile isa wangaya. Peli fauti na mfana. Usuinga ia le sa mo mawina sa mo victim support mai na tanga lok malim sa tamu fai onu tu tamu fai sini si foi vai ngai e suia ta tu lafu e pe o sia wa o le tau tali atu la o te le mai fa organize vai no pe na la ngai fa si fa no
Dai.
Mai ne tau sana no ate malima se I o mai intani ne e kia ia ni mera whanau na amatanga mai na amatai na mai ia ni bea na ia I te tono o le to manga mai le lua ate malima tu sa po ito la se pai no mera wa no whanau I intani ne ai le ngatai leo leo pai na wenga le to ki la to na tai ia mai ia I to manga ito na imatola ba ia se ia o mai ko intani ne na mai
Oi, ia whakatae mo le whapsili. I don't have the records for our staff numbers, but I do. I can speak to the number of children that have come through the Campus of Hope. So, talon whaavai ia le Campus of Hope mai le luafe malima. Over male whaafe tamaiti. Over male whaafe tamaiti wa whaingi. With Soswani le SVSG. Wa Hausi o I le Campus of Hope. Ia o tele whai o nata maiti sa umantoe reintegrate I latou ainga. Po waia se sio la ainga. Po se auntie, uncle or even a mother. E mawhai o natoe tausia lea alo. E ia tamaiti o le mawhai a o natoe fo I latou ainga. O na tūlanga lea wo le ia se si e mawhai ona I guess support I le alo lea wa o tuainga ia le wa o mai ai ona o mai alo ia lalo baba inga le SVSG ia ele oni tuainga mama e te lea ua whaasanga I tama po se grandfather o uncle e ia la ainga o le mawhai a ona la tautu e talia mai ia le alo lea ia o tamaiti la na le tausia le SVSG I o ai le Campus of Hope.
Is there an age limit for children to be under the care of SVSG?
So ole age limit I lalo tula fono when a child is no longer an infant ole luas fumatasi. So e luas futasi lole tamaititi, which is usually a girl, while tenure a tele o tamaiti ole SVSG o tamaitai. If Soswani la SVSG tamfai su ese se si mea se si mfai ona no foai su e senga luenga so e tele fo ia o le si awala le tele Soswani o tato private sector po tato business. They offer employment opportunities mo tamaitai ia e mawhai ona alu ese mele campus e le se ala ngā tupe e o lai le tamaitai ia matamwhai e su ese a inga e mwhai ona no fwai ia le ano.
Okay. One question. Ole whaafe mun tupu leo whanau leo fia ima whanau e mana fianga tu mau ole soi?
Yes. Ia le namba.
Ese mai I mea ia na whapapona kasili. Ese mai whaopoponga ma pei ona lua tōlau lau mai. Whaopopo tu iai matamaiti whaatau o loa I taulanga leo wa whaonga SVSG. Ia, ma le polkalame le wa ave itua ia onga ma le polkalame le SVSG Youth Group. Le lua se fulu tau sanga talua ia o mai nei. Se whamon mone se itali mai. O ani tau nu unga o nā ngā ruenga le lei uma. E pōri ngā le lei uma tau ngā ruenga nei whaatino. O ani ona tau nu unga lea ia inyo na mori mau. Se tau mai te minei. Tamatala mai.
After mo fafsi po kalama ye a fia mai po le social ya ile na taifa now o youth group ye ya le me se folo no ftana te le lo na sao ya o se tala fata ta inga la ya ila to fa na u sa ofi mai tolu le SVSG mafsosoani ia le to manga mo le ngata ia o isi wale le ia o ta alo le tau whamtala ina fo i tūlanga nga wa i ngos kapo ke ia fo i le si i le Star Wars
Te reo mantua a nai tenga lue le SVSG.
ia se yung masai mai peo mai ma le yung whaafsili le i ai le tui le whaingo lo fisili ai tau to mai peo le tau folo mali atu le so ai na fo tu i lo whaafsili ai o le tā ua vaenga lea ia o iei ngai whanau o lea o tūlanga le leia nātou a onga whianga inga Star Wars. I think that's a classic example ngā luenga Samoa Victim Support. O sa o fi mai sa ngā lua i lano le SVSG mafsosoani iai wa ai fo i lea pulenga le nātai. I poka la me whitau i ma le tametiti le lona malosi, lona ngadue. Ia, tu mati a fo i nata la anga o le nātai ni titi. O mai fola na ya lo koe fa waulo na o langa i tua isi o na ai. Ai o se o ave fo i ma vau mora isi fa na o le tu. There is hope. Ia o le la o visilingia. Po le ala se fo i le se outcome. Ia o kasi nga outcome. O kakanga sulfa i mai ele isi fa moe moe. A le o nga fatia le Samoa Victim Support. Na fai ele nga luenga. Tu u iei le a o nga. Tu u iei ma sosuani nga i le sports. So, ia e fo inisio whana o mawawa noe malanga atua i whafo. E isi ngā luenga. Ma skoa sipi. O le ngā lue mai ia i lato o lo i mato executive o lo te lero lato sa o le daily fo i lea operation o ngā luenga. O skoa sipi. Vai fo nā u whafo. Mawa lato o awa noe a ia. A o mai whanau ia sa le ima whai fo i lo tia i. O le ima whai tonu o la tofu ya inga le ngata i mata o fatula fono sa wanga na afia ya fa tai le li o le sa ma wala va no sa sulfa mai ma apa tu le to bang no ftani ya lo ka kalmo ha ipokala mai what are the outcomes ke le yo ta ma fo ye sa wanga ye ya afia i sa wa ino o tina yo nga lu tele na le counseling le fa o le ala sa swing over ya o le ko mo le mai o no le utata wa ma ye sile o mai para dia mangi fua dia le vai loa i o ngai pui ia o le ngonga o le koe sawa o le koe moria mai ia o whainga lu le o ngalu wa le sta maki sa o le piasa tele ina mafuai that's the catalyst behind most of the cases ia ia e whaftai fo i ngalu ngai to mama o mawhai fo i ona so ane le naitu ia masuia fo ina ia sui o ta ma vai hona ia ma pokala ma fo i le no fotane fatama o ai ina la tina ya wa ye na isi tina fo i ya ma fo no vivesi o ngol wa ya ko ina le o ngo fo ya le la nga ye ngai pokala ma ye le fa ngo na tawi ma me uma nga lu fa tasi ya i ma ila to ye to mai le la mo fa yo fa ta wala to lo wa fi fo i fa fo la ko fa ya la ko o ka o ke le yo o ka le nga ki ngai ta mo fa ya o mai ya I me fo i o la tō lo mo ia mai o ka I me tau limu. Ia pe wai nisi ngā vai ngā leo o tau ma whai e highlight atu. Mai e le ngata i lea, te li o isi vai ngā o ngā lua iai. Ia le mafsoso ni ai le victim support ia la tō whawhia. Ia pe se wa ule tali atu a me tusai me whawhisi.
Whaftai, mana ia le tali, malo ngā lue. Lua se fulu tau sanga. Ngā lua le Samoa Victim. Se I tala no mai to chicha o sa umai whai ai e la toile press release e aveko press release nga o le last ke le au kaimi o le last resort o le ai ase mako news e maua ka akakua mai mea mal Samoa Victim ai au mai no e le ai e onga asim ka upulai au mai ai o no winga e o mai nei ai te mil nei o le ai tupu a sa wanga o ato mena whai le lusfuta o sanga lea a o le ai li poki mai a sa wanga ia sa ui
Ia le la tali atu whaperetania ngai mai si le ka o alo kweli ngana o mai boi.
O le tele o tatou tangata o Samoa e le o soli tu la kono ni tangata i ngana whaperetania e ala i ona wha tau sisi Peretania ai ona wha pe o tatou sponsor ai o le au te lenga o tatou tunu o tangata Samoa se lau iwa sifuru i wafi so e mawhaila ona wha Samoa mai.
Ia, wale le.
Ia whaftai ame mone whafsili. Ole tele o le taonongolongo mai po le reportina mai o sawanga I tono o ainga. In matou ia titilo e tau mai ai o le ua o aku I le message po le ua malama tangata I le awala e sunu ai po le me sunu ai pe ai ia sawanga I tono ainga. Awa afa apea ele au mai ripoti pe le ripotia mai ainga ia sawanga. Ele fa apea la lo le se no tupu pe lo mama tatou. In fact, ia so la ele ia makale ele I fa amatale SVSG. Ele I tele ni ripoti o mta apuia na no sa longo mai ona ole fefefe o tangata ole le lopo fe suru wai ia male culture fo ele ole fa pe e fa masia se pe fa matanga ainga pe fa iloa pe ia mta apuia so e uila ia e sao e matua e whengata ona vai atu I tamaitia lo wo afie sa wanga. In a way, o le tau mai ai, o le successful, ia le awareness, ona e le mawhai ona tātou tapea, ia le, I guess, ia le evil in a simple way. Mai la langi, pa wala tātou ngā lunga mwhai ona whai, o le sosoni atu atu au wale tātou tangata, ia whaititia ai, pa whapewa tupu, e sulu ai, mo se lawe ai, e le ngā le sulu tula fono, e sulu man SVSG le ia tātou pitanga mo whanau, a mai se atina o sa waina, e se whapupu atu e langa ai.
Ia, okay, roka I pe ia ame le lua le vaenga fo ile, a kele mo li le awala. A so ia sa le inka ko mo li fo ile awala taavane, ko I traffic lights. Ai inga ua whaku ka ko traffic lights. You'd be surprised ke lo ka ko kese si ua iai. Ia, marikasi ka ko traffic lights le sa lunga. Ole marikala whakai inga fo ile mea leo le report. Mamaua. Le ke lo ka ko traffic cases ia umai. Ai, ele mafofo fo iso. Se waka mo whai ki angi traffic cases, so mo le mo whai kula, fo mo whai wha lau iloa, whai mo me whai o pui pui. Pati le ai, ole langone ia. Li whai pea o maari ai, fo isa o nga mapsua. This is part of what the vaenga leo lo ngā lua koe, fo isa mo victim support group. Ia, so ka ua koe ngā lua ngā le au whai talo. Ko mtanga lua matina, o leo. O longo wingo ngā lua ngā le kumu ato, ni wha pea mai le si vaenga. O son, so longo wingo le o marosi ngā lua ngā sa mo victim support. O le hake le kaka ia mo lia mai. Ai ole fo i leo se mātou tau mawhainga, ai ile ole wingo le tana. E whaftai I le ali I o lea ua ke le inga iai le toa le fefe ua iai mawhainga o mai luma tangata tina whainga o ngā leo to iei sila ngone mpole mani fefe sa iai asoi e a fefe makai fefe tangata iei sa wai e u mea sa iei sa sabla fo ina lo whalai ko inga ngā kain a ngai kain I le ngā lue ngā le victim support ia o whape ngā o ngā mata lia tangata o le mwhaifo na iei se pole mas fefe lai lola iei le me maku mai iai e o se o ngā ia tamu whai atu le vaenga lea pea whai o le tatou te au tilo a ngā I le o loo sua kualau pepa pe o ngā isa o le vai mea o le whakuplo ia fo ia cases ia it continues to happen as long as there are human beings on earth e ia le whawhika o le lona ngei ia apa ko ke pole ai e ia le to ma e ngā lue pel to manga pe atu lai mai la te o whai atu ngā vai e si mai loa
Io, ole ka ofisiri atu, lo skuntau sanga o ke lo le kele I o le tau e whengai ma le tau o nanga. Ai mai se alu, tau leo le tau whaamata o mai aima.
ia
Ona ta o mofo nei wa, le ewa sau noa mapsua. O to e ali a whare tonu ia o tau a e tangata o le aima, le apine, whare tonu o toina. Le whanda. To inga awala me ti hori tu te whao ngā e tu te tadia e le tu langa I le lui tau leo pai wha mta ua tu o to pai li whai uwhia wa ta wuna e iso to o nanga council le e tangata I e whea ngai no mta o pui
Ia whaftai o tanga wai o mun whafsili. Yes, e tāua fo ia mātou ia le safety on mātou staff so e fo ia le counselling mal support even mako staff. Malesi, I think, pointa walava. Ele on mato staff e lango tele fo i lenga luenga leo. A whaapea mai se complaints pe wa wha o me se reporti mato officer. Whaatule review on mato staff member ele se fele alu no na o ia bosi se mako staff. E matonga lue whaatasi alaman officer leo man lato domestic violence units le, right next door. E o whaatasi so that there's no risk in the safety for matoia o whenga luenga. Ia mai e se le alu lea ia positina for i malato ainga. So, but there is support for ingale mato for ia staff to ensure that they're not ele afia for latoia safety. Por so for maloina ono ole sosong to for I tatotu.
Le sila vana te ki sile tuai tu le le ta ole le tu te ngalu fatasi. Watasi le fa fitau le te lo sa fe ngai malu to nanga lam tam. Fa finta ho le to ngalu fatasi me le I mo me cases ne ko pe tu la ibele tu la bo le wa vai tu le ho to su wa la fa me le ma to ngalu ngana fa la tu la o ri se tu la bo le wa fa fingo fi.
It's a ole partnership le ia leo ma finge ma le SVSG poto manga wa ia le memorandum of understanding pole MOU o fa vai I guess if I mata ayala inga luenga fai atasi pole ale SVSG at o manga ma leo mos faitita inga o manino lava I lalon mato MOU receiving mato complaints it refers sa awa mole fainga I guess fa matalanga mole mau not only ole le afia but also boy ani simon mau ainga if so sorry for leo apa pe e sulu atu officer leo e tina poni alo o lo for leo e mai I mole shelter inga lue fatasi for leo mal SVSG for example e ave siaki for mai ele mai shelter ya vengi ensure that afa apea ole ia se manua po ia ni afianga ile alo le esiaki uma for mai ele va to ile shelter so ta upu mana bo maram na o mai tu elua o to manga male leo e ngalue fatasi so it's been a great partnership since I guess since the past 20 years and it's working very well.
No toi so le si mai le au le lu fa malu do ke fo wa sa I mai se so ko kuskala lo le ko ia ole si mai le si au le tu ia ona
na mai le como oficilia o pasanga meio com a vai
ia o fa ya so ale ai le la tu le au le si mai o nga le kasi le ku la le ka ko press male
ale ko en ama
le la ku la le ngoi le au le ia ona fa lo le o le tau talanga le fionga le telipu ka ko ta kalmo mulmule le o ta ko kalmo kalini se ko si le ba ia sa mai la le lu ba tai le ma wa tu lo no ia.
How many children are currently being supported and housed at the campus of Hope at this moment? And is there enough space for all these kids? Is there a need for better infrastructure or funding in certain areas of support? And were there many cases being brought over the Easter weekend of cases of victims in families?
Sorry, can I have your name for one more, Lila?
I'm Angina, a journalist from Samoa Observer.
All right, lovely to meet you. I'm Tanya Toiloa. There are currently 80 children at the campus of Hope right now, so that's the shelter for children. In terms of support for their welfare, that's currently being provided by the government under its grant that was given to SVSG for the current financial year. So they help with food, providing food, electricity, paying for water bills. So that's been done right now. And we also get a lot of donations from not only the general public but also businesses who provide, for example, bread daily. We, as you may see from our Facebook page, there's a lot of youth groups, workplaces, even family groups who come and donate to SVSG. So the shelter right now is well equipped and to care for the children, not only in terms of their physical surroundings, but also in terms of the care that's given to them. We also get support from the medical profession and also the hospital, the Ministry of Health. They come in to do checks for the children. So that's all taken care of.
You've mentioned that students that no longer have families to go back to from the years of 18 under. Does the SVG provide education for these children?
Yes.
While they're being brought up by the Campus of Hope?
Yes, so there's a school in-house and there are teachers inside the campus who teach the children. Again, we also have a lot of support from our business communities and also other organizations who come and offer their time voluntarily, for example, to teach whether it's Zumba or aerobics or a lot of different, activities for the children, not just for formal education, but other things that children in usual public schools and private schools experience. They also get to experience that, like music and so forth.
And one last question is, what are some of the biggest barriers victims face when trying to access support or justice?
Well, probably the first main barrier would be to ensure you have support from your family, because going through the, justice system is not not an easy thing. It's not a quick thing, and so it helps if you have your family to support you. So unfortunately, there are children who don't have that support, and so that's where SVSG steps in to provide that support. So that's one of the biggest barriers. And secondly, I think one of the other barriers is it's hard to report things because you have to give a statement to police, you have to tell the doctor what happened, you have to get up and tell court what happened. So in a way, you have to relive the experience over and over again. So that's not an easy thing to do. And there may be people who don't want to relive the experience again, and so they choose not to report. So it's quite a courageous thing to choose to report because you are put through all those extra steps.
Okay, one more. This is the last, I promise. So, can you give a number of what cases common? Domestic violence, sexual abuse of children, or what is the most common cases right now that victims have been facing that the SVG has been supporting women and children to get through? What is the most common case? Can you give
I think it's just probably, I apologize, I don't have the statistics with me, and so I don't want to give you an answer that is not accurate, but from my general knowledge of the statistics in the office, it would be like an equal amount of women being abused and also children being abused.
Thank you.
I just want to follow up on her line of questioning. After leaving the program, do you do follow-ups on checking on them, how they're doing, where they are?
Yes. There's that's part of the reintegration process, is that there are follow-ups. Not only we not only check that the home is safe before they're reintegrated, but there are also follow-ups months after to ensure that they're doing well when they're back home.
Alwayong ol tatou tai fa malulu wan tu tatou pa yola fa fa salau ya ngole man manunga la ol tai mi male ka ko sponsor ngi ke wa ka ko kele fo ya le tu ole va no ile polisi company malus ne ya fa ta ya tu mo tu fa si so fo stai mul mul ya ka ko kan mo fo le metali ni so tu si al nei tai la tu na tu la va no ile le polisi company ya Vodafone. Thank you very much for all the questions and answers that we're able to make for this part of our program. But I would now like to turn the time over to the CEO of the Vodafone Samoa, Mr. Rana Bose for his remarks, and also to touch on some of our sponsorship program offered by the Vodafone in support of the Samoa Victim Support Group, and also the celebration of the 20th year anniversary.
Thank you. I think SVSG and Vodafone shares the same value, that we want to do good for the country. And we have been supporting SVSG for several years now, I think more than 7-8 years, and we'll continue to provide the support. Even for the 28th celebration, we are also providing a special package for them in terms of both monetary and non-monetary support to help them in the various initiatives they are doing in the celebrations. And we will continue to do that. That's our commitment, that we'll support SVSG. We also have a special announcement today, which will be a surprise. So we'll do it after some time. Just have some patience. There's something big coming up. Yeah, thanks.
So we'll now proceed to signing of our sponsorship agreement with Vodafone Samoa Limited. And so the value of this sponsorship package or sponsorship agreement is 42,743, and Vodafone has kindly offered tablets and phones to assist us with our prizes for our anniversary celebrations, and also a special project that SVSG will undertake. And so before we sign this contract, we want to acknowledge the kind contribution of Vodafone, and we look forward to continuing our partnership in the future.
Misang pagpagkilin na mo sa inyo ay no tanto so ni my Vodafone. Thank you very much, Mr. Rana, for the continuous support from the Samoa Victim for the Samoa Victim Support Group. I know you mentioned that there is a big surprise coming, and before we move on to the remaining part of our program, perhaps I will turn the time over for your side to speak on the rest of your program. And then
Thank you. So we are in the last part of the program. Can you just remove the podium in this side so that presentation is visible on the TV? Thanks. So SVSG has been doing an incredible job over the last 20 years. And I think SVSG need that recognition globally. So we are jointly with SVSG putting up a project so that Samoa and SVSG again is recognized around the world. Right? It's a joint project between both the organizations. So let's see what's next. Okay, let's see. Next slide. What is the next big thing? Next. Nomination for Nobel Peace Prize 2026. So we will initiate the process for nominating SVSG for the Nobel Peace Prize 2026, not this year. I'll explain the entire process, how it happens, what needs to be done, what is the criteria when the declaration happens, and what is the prize money and everything. Right? Let's go into little more details. Who can be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? Which says any living person or active organizations who are involved in arms control, peace negotiation, democracy and human rights, and creating more peaceful world and climate change. So these are the criteria person can be nominated. So SVSG forms in the part of human rights. If you look at the Human Rights Charter, there are 30 articles, and SVSG definitely qualifies in 2 of the articles. Right? So SVSG will be nominated in the human rights section, democracy and human rights. Next. Who can nominate? SVSG cannot nominate themselves. There need to be other organizations or person need to nominate. Even Vodafone cannot nominate. We will initiate the process of nomination. The current head of state can nominate a person for a Nobel Prize or an organization. Any cabinet minister, any non-cabinet minister, any member of the parliament, any university professors, particularly in social science, director of university, previous Nobel Prize winners, or others. There are a lot of other criteria who can nominate. So what we'll do, we'll initiate jointly with SVSG, we'll be approaching some of them. So the official nomination is done. Yeah. Timeline for 2026, 31st January is the deadline that the nomination must be submitted by 31st January. And currently it's an online process. So they will open their online form around September. And the nomination will be done online in January 31st. Okay, this is interesting. So let's say we do the process and nominate SVSG. Is the list available anywhere officially? The Nobel Committee do not publish the list until 50 years. That's their process. Right? So who has nominated whom? It is never officially disclosed by the Nobel Committee for 50 years. They will declare it after 50 years. So if you want to see whether SVSG is officially nominated in their website, it will not be available. And the Peace Prize is given by Norway. The other prizes are given by Sweden. Right? So the Nobel Peace Prize Committee is taken care by the Norway team. And the other prizes like literature, medicine, physics are given by Sweden. So you have to wait for 50 years to know the official list. Yeah, next. When the winner is declared, that is every year, when do we know that who has won the Nobel Prize? It is in October they declare every year. There is no specific date in the first 15 days of October. And the prize ceremony always happened on 10 December. That's again in Norway. Next. What is the prize money? $1 million US. $1 million US is the prize money. Is it very tough? It is, but if you look at the nomination, the number is not significant. If you look at current year 2025, only 338 nomination has been received. It's not 10,000 or 20,000. Even in 2024, it was around 250. So it's not a huge number. Right, it's 338, out of which 244 are individuals and 94 are organizations. Who has been, so Nobel Committee will only declare the number, that what is the count of nomination received, but not who has nominated whom. Yeah, next. How will Vodafone support? We'll initiate or facilitate the nomination process, because SVSG again cannot nominate themselves. So we'll be approaching and working very closely with SVSG. Plus we are also looking for expert writers globally, because when you put in serious nomination, the write-up need to be very professionally done. So we will be looking for globally who can be one of the best writers or expert in that field, and we take their advice and take them on our board so that we can do that. Plus, if SVSG finally wins, we'll be sponsoring 2 tickets to Norway, right? So that will be sponsoring. But what I came to know is the Norway Nobel Committee also sponsor your tickets. So if let's say they sponsor 2, but we'll be sponsoring additional 2. Next, that's it. I think we are end of it. That's it. So very short presentation. So we are initiating the process. Any question on this? Then we go for the photo op. No questions? Okay, thanks.
How about we give another round of applause for the wonderful presentation by the Vodafone Samoa. And on behalf of the Samoa Victim Support Group, Madam Chair, and also the executives of the Samoa Victim Support Group, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation and thanksgiving for not only the continuous support and sponsorship by the Vodafone company, but also the wonderful, the great initiative that you've started this morning in terms of facilitating the nomination process for the Nobel Peace Prize nomination. So we're really grateful for the ongoing support from the Vodafone company. Our prayers is that our good Lord will continue to bless your good self, sir, and your leadership, as well as the role of Vodafone company truly in bringing everyone together, bringing Samoa together, and together we can. And on that note, I would like to conclude and thank everyone for coming. I know there is a photo. We'll do a photo after, and been told that there's also refreshments afterwards. So